discussing the separating techniques of mixtures, we need to understand the important concept of physical change and chemical change. Observe few of the phenomenon. You have seen the photograph of few phenomenon just now. Say digestion takes place. We are cooking the food. We are mixing salt and water. We are burning the candle. Wax is melting. Cutting of trees, cutting of vegetables, fruits, rusting of iron. Still the list goes on. This phenomenon which I had spoken just now are having some basic difference, and based on that we can classify the changes in two types. One is physical change, another is chemical change. In physical change, only the interconversion of physical states takes place. It means that as we are knowing, three states of matter is there: solid, liquid and gas. So the substance can change from solid to liquid or liquid to gas, reverse to that, gas to liquid or liquid to solid. Besides that, we are knowing that sometimes the gases are directly converted into solids and solids can directly convert into gaseous state by skipping the liquid state. That all the changes do not change any kind of property of that substance. While rusting of iron almirah or nail or iron chain, then burning of candle. Besides that, the reactions which we are doing in laboratory between different compounds, many times it changes the color, it evolves, it produces some gases, and sometimes we are getting some different odor, smell. In these changes, the new product which are formed, they are having totally different properties than earlier. Many a times these changes are irreversible, means we cannot get that substances back. So new products are formed, they are having totally different chemical properties than earlier compounds. And this type of changes are known as chemical changes. Burning, digestion, photosynthesis, these all are the examples of chemical changes. While dissolving, sublimation, mixing, boiling, condensing, freezing, these all are the examples of physical changes. Now we are talking about different separating techniques. As we have discussed that if the changes are physical, that means if there is change in the physical state of matter, then we can get the reactant components back very easily. But as we are having different types of mixtures, we are having solid mixed with solid, we are having liquid mixed with liquid. Liquids also we are having miscible and immiscible liquids, means the liquid which are dissolving completely, mixing completely, they are miscible. But if the liquids do not mix completely, then they are immiscible liquids. So in this different variety, we cannot separate the components by one technique. We need different techniques for every different types of mixture. Let us talk about these different separating techniques one by one, and let us take examples of that. Very first, we are having evaporation. We are using ink. It is having dyes in that. Dyes is mixture of more than one color. So whenever we want to separate the components of dyes from its mixture, we can use the technique evaporation. In evaporation, the volatile component, means which can be evaporated, it is separated from non-volatile component. When we are heating the dye or ink, the volatile component evaporate and whatever is remaining, that is the non-volatile component of that mixtures. Second technique, we are having centrifugation. Simple common example is milk. Milk is having lots of particles of proteins, fats and vitamins mixed in that. Simply by filtration, this cannot be separated out. But there is difference in the molecules of milk and molecules of these fats, vitamins. Their densities are differing. So based on their densities, if we are rotating, if we are moving the milk very fast at home, the thing which we are performing with the blenders, same thing is done at a larger scale in dairies and in industries. So as we are rotating the sample of milk very fast, the denser particles remain at bottom and the lighter particles are coming to the surface. And like that we can separate out the cream from the milk, the cream from the buttermilk. Even this technique is used for the blood samples to separate out its component. In washing machines also, to remove the extra water, we can use the process of centrifugation. Now, the liquid and liquid combination. If we are having two liquids mixed with each other, but they are having the different densities, it means they are having the different layers of that. Say we are mixing water with oil or kerosene. It will not mix completely with that, but on the surface of water we can see the oil or kerosene. In that situation, by using separating funnel, we can have the different layers of these combined mixtures, and after opening the cork, we will get the very first layer of the liquid. Then we have to off the cork. Then in another vessel we can get the another liquid, and again we have to stop the cork. Like that, whatever the components we are mixing which are having different densities, they can be separated out by separating funnel method. Instead of these immiscible liquids, if we are having miscible liquids which are mixing with each other, then we are supposed to use the technique of distillation, or we can use the fractional distillation also. In this technique, both the liquids are mixed with each other, but they should have the sufficient difference in their boiling point. So the substance which is having lower boiling point will start boiling faster, and that boil, that steam, we can pass into the condenser, and after condensation we can get that component back, and the substance which is having higher boiling point will be remaining in the flask. But if the difference between the boiling point of these two components is less than 25 Kelvin, in that situation we can use the fractional distillation method, and the fractional column will have the different temperature, and that's why it is known as the fractional distillation. Then we are having the method of sublimation. We know that many substances are having the property, the quality of sublimation, means they can convert it directly from the solid state to the gaseous, or from gaseous to the solid state. Say for example camphor, the powder of ammonium chloride, they are having this type of properties. So when we are having the combination, the mixture of this type of components with common salt or any other non-sublimate components, we can heat this mixture, so the sublimate component will directly convert into gaseous state, which we can collect in funnel or any other vessel, and after getting cooled down we can get it back, and non-sublimate component will remain in the disc, which we can get back. Likewise, one more technique we are having, which is known as the chromatography. If we want to separate out the different colors of the ink, then we are supposed to make dots of that ink on the filter paper. Then we have to keep that strip of filter paper in the water for some time. So the component of that dye, that ink, will be separate out. Then we are having the crystallization. And lastly, two more simple methods are there: filtration, then we can say loading, and decantation. The drinking water which we are getting at home, sometimes it is having lots of impurities. Very simply, we can filter it first. Then the substance like alum, we can mix in that, and after that we have to keep that water for some time undisturbed. So by the process of loading, that mud, that waste material will be settled down at the bottom, and by decantation we can get the filtrated water. If we are making salt from the sea water, then in that salt also some crystals of impurities are found. To remove this, we can use the method of crystallization, and in that, after boiling that component, that compound, we are supposed to keep it undisturbed for some time, and finally what we are getting, that will be the pure crystal of either salt or any other component which we want.